Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is August 31st, 2014, and today we're going to explore the 125th Street Viaduct on the Harlem River Drive, and I'm going to take you to parts of it that you've never seen before. I'm sure many of you guys have driven over this thing hundreds, if not many thousands of times, but you've never seen what you're about to see. So let's get started. Firstly, I would like to show you that the sign you're looking at has been, of course, upgraded over the years, but the sign pole itself is original from when this highway was constructed. This section of highway was constructed during the years 1947 up until 1964, depending on which section you're at. The section we're going to look at today is on the older side. This is facing southbound at the 125th Street exit. You'll see there's a slight incline. On the right side there is an unused pathway which dead ends at a fence. I decided to take a little walk in there to give you guys a better look at it. The brickwork, of course, and that green railing is original from when the highway was built. You can see large sections of the brick have fallen off over the years due to disrepair. Straight ahead is a fence, and guys, you don't want to get trapped in here because there's only one way out and one way in. Sections, of course, have missing bricks, and these are actually vents, I believe, because there's a storage room in there which we'll explore later on when we go to the underside. This was just a ground level view. The divider is original. It's never been replaced, although the roadway has been repaved many, many times over the years. Again, you can see the roadway is in very good condition, but when we go underneath, not so much. This is what you call a limited visibility distance, meaning when you're approaching this hill, you can't see what's on the other side, so you better slow down in case traffic is backed up, which it usually is, otherwise there'll be a rear-end collision. It's kind of unusual the way this tree is growing out over the highway. Seeing how low the clearance is, obviously you know no trucks are allowed on this highway, because if a tractor trailer came rumbling down in the right lane, it would be goodbye branches. This walkway here is unusual in the way it's constructed. See how it goes up gradually? This was rebuilt several years ago along with the bridge itself. For those of you who watched my videos in the past, you may remember that I did a video on the replacement of the Willis Avenue Bridge. This is the downstroke, continuing heading south, of course. Now, this is where there was a light pole at one time. Of course, it's no longer there. I don't think they'll ever replace it because they do intend to replace this entire viaduct. They're going to tear it down. In fact, I'm surprised they haven't done it yet. Now this is the underside. This is where it gets good. Look at all the planking on the top. The planking is there because sections of the roadway have fallen through. For the most part, not entirely, just small sections of concrete. And they don't want that to come crashing down on the cars on the ramp there. This is an old electrical box that's no longer used. But that's how they did it back then. Okay, this you can see has fenced in area. It used to be open. You could usually walk in there, but the reason they fenced it off is for two reasons. One, because the homeless were going under there and actually living under there. I'm not kidding. I guess they fenced this off about 5 years ago, so people can't get in, but we're going in. Oh yeah. We're in. Take a look at this makeshift support. This is because this bridge has been rated structurally unsafe. I believe the weight limit is 5,000 pounds. Don't quote me exactly, but I'm almost sure it is, which means it's fine for a passenger car or a van. But of course, 18-wheelers are not supposed to be on this road, or any big truck. And now you know why. See this concrete? This is what I was talking about earlier. It fell through from the roadway above. Okay, right there. A hole formed from years and years of abuse and actually neglect, I should say. And it fell through, and that's what happened. See that door, that steel door there? We're going to go in now, and we're going to take a look at that. Okay, that door is not the original door that was made. This was designed as a storage facility, I guess for DOT back in the day. What happened is the homeless people would break into there, they'd go inside, and they'd do, I guess, whatever it is they do. And it was broken into so many times, DOT finally had to install this steel door. And that's good. It's good they did that, but they still went through the trouble of putting the fence around anyway. Again, note all the planking on top. There's a close-up of the steel door. Now let's see if they can get into that. I doubt they can. Here you'll see some supports. These were add-ons. These have been there quite a while, not like the wooden ones I showed you a few minutes ago. These have actually been there as long as I can remember. That outside lane, which is the right lane heading southbound, has been in question for a long, long time. Again, note the planking on top. There's a close-up look at the supports, and they're doing their job. And you know, I'm telling you something. It's amazing how many people use this viaduct and have no idea what they're riding over. That's looking straight up in the corner at the right-hand lane. This now is looking southbound from where I'm standing. You can see nobody else is in there but me. There's another look at the supports that we showed you earlier in the video. These are actually fairly recent. I guess the engineers came and made an inspection and felt they were necessary. This is an old lighting fixture. This is original from the late 40s and very unusual. The globe is cracked, but still very unusual. Now here's a good look at where the concrete is falling through. If those plankings weren't there, it would fall right through onto the ground, like it did here. This fell through before the planking was there. And you can see it's not in very good shape over here either. This is a ramp getting onto the northbound side. This is original. You can see that the rusty curb section there is all broken apart from people hitting it, coming around too fast. I thought this was very interesting. It looks like it was an actual Goldberg repair job, but I'm not quite sure. This is what they call Marginal Street. It used to be a place where they would dump road salt. The city used to store road salt here, and they also used to have a lot of derelict and abandoned cars. It was really neat back in the late 80s. But I got a question for any of you guys. Can you tell me what this object is that I'm looking at right dead center? Kind of looks like a pole of some kind. I can't quite figure out what it is. Let me give you a better look at it. Right there. I don't know what it is. It's been there forever. If anybody has any idea what that was used for, please type in the comments below. This here is another look at the underside of the pedestrian walkway I showed you guys earlier. This was rebuilt only a few years ago when they rebuilt the Willis Avenue Bridge. As you can see, it is possible to drive a motor vehicle in here. This is the ramp getting off the southbound side onto 125th Street. Note how all the bricks have basically come off over the years. Same ramp, just a different angle. I'm standing in the same area, only I'm facing southbound this time. And of course the bridge on top is that's the entrance ramp to the RFK Bridge. That's facing northbound in the same area. This was a plaque I stumbled upon. I'm not sure if this has been there forever because it's in really good shape. I couldn't find a date anywhere on there. Again, this one is facing northbound. This, again, is added supports. And these have been here, I'd say, about 10 years. I guess they felt that the original supports were compromised or not strong enough. For any of you guys who've watched the movie The 7-Ups, which came out in, I believe, 1974, a good section of the movie was filmed down here. You may remember Roy Scheider's character was talking to Tony LoBianco's character down here. Actually, they were right in the center there. You used to be able to walk through, but it's a fenced-off construction site now, and it's under repair. God, I missed the good old 70s when I was a kid. This is another view there. This is original. This is the way it looked back in the day, even when the 7-Ups was filmed. Note the original iron railing straight ahead. For those of you guys who are about the same age as me, you may remember there used to be a very steep staircase leading from here up to the old ramp to the Willis Avenue Bridge. This used to be a popular pathway back in the, I guess, late 40s, early 50s. But when I was a kid in the 70s, the neighborhood turned sour, and I think you know what that meant. That was the end of that. Again, that particular guy there is fishing in the Harlem River. You couldn't pay me to eat anything out of the Harlem River. I don't know what his idea is. Here is a post. I guess they used to tie boats up here back in the old days. I've never seen a ship here, but apparently there were several of these. I just thought it was neat. You can see there's another one slightly north of here. Here's another look at the drive heading northbound. The right side is the ramp to 125th Street. Continuing north, you can see that the pavement on this side is not in great shape, but I wouldn't worry about it because they are going to be replacing this entire viaduct. You can see how the weeds have grown through. Another look at weeds. Here, some of the concrete has eroded as well. This section, as you can see, has very good pavement, but I remind you, we're standing almost directly underneath the section where the planking was. Here's another view. By the way, that ambulance you see there, oddly enough, as I was heading back northbound, I ran into him again up the road. They were fishing somebody out of the river. Here's another look at the 125th Street entrance ramp. And guys, that's basically it. Well, I hope you enjoyed my little tour of the 125th Street Viaduct today. Your comments below are always welcome. If you have a section of New York City you want me to try and do, I will try it. But again, I only have so much time and I have so many things scheduled. I do plan to make more of these videos in the near future. Thanks for watching. Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show signing off. Thanks for stopping by, guys.